Gonna ask Scruff to talk to me about the 570 Ti 16 gig version because I'm most likely gonna have to buy a PSU for the 970 XT anyway. I'd stick with the AMD. Intel's fucking junk right, or sorry, Nvidia 50 series is garbage right now. You're just beta testing for the 60 series. All you got to do is look up how many fucking problems they have. I wouldn't do it. Anyway, we had. I can't. Man, this really pisses me off. I can't like doom scroll backwards in the chat thing. I gotta go to the old school. Anyway, Joe Russ, Gassy Masher, early crew as usual. Mr. S stopped by early. There's Fama. The Boink is here. What's up, Slippy Fist? Fish? Said Mr. S, right? There's, Zen, talk to Zen. Kevin Hardesty, Jacques Attack, Maurice Walker. Delta Mike is here. David Garcia. All right, let's get started here real quick. First, let's do a toast. Because apparently today is the birthday of the Fama Mama. The Fama Mama. Yeah, the Fama Mama. So, cheers and happy birthday to Fama's mommy. Happy birthday to your mom, as it were. Alright, so ordered a bunch of stuff for the engine. None of it showed up yet. That was tools, new fittings. Yeah, tools and new fitting. So we'll just kind of go past that. We'll start working on other things today. We'll get that alternator mounted. And I did not prepare for a phone call because I'm way behind today. So we'll just kind of move past that. And why don't we go ahead and do the Vertitherm woofle right now out of the bag. What's up, Matan Belay? And then I guess we'll just start building stuff. Yeah, today is I've been half asleep all day. I don't know what's up. Just tired, even though I got sleep. But anyway, Vertitherm woofle. Still got to refill that butane later. There's the one. Number two. Number three. What's up, C2S? The Pancake Man is here. Josh Homan, what's up? It's almost knocked over the phone. That's no good. Getting everybody. I think I got everybody that's here so far. Yeah, Twitch. Twitch, that means Twitch is working good. Alright. If I can turn that back. Yeah, I can turn that on so that you'll hear the notifications. I'll hear the notifications. Stream Elements is here. Outside microphone. It is just raining its ass off right now. So I turned it on and I hear like it's not even worth it right now. Sorry about that, but well, first we'll hit the button, and then we'll address that either later. We'll see how it's doing, or maybe we'll just move past that. I kind of do feel like maybe I should run some like just background music, but nobody wants to agree on it. But maybe I'll just make that decision one of these days, and we'll run some chill ass background music or something like way in the background. Besides that, I guess let's I've done no prep today. God damn. Lego. Let's see. Oh, let's just hit the Lego camera, see what happens. All right, good start. Okay, let's move this over here. All right. Absolutely refuse to work with compost. It's degrading. Nice. Well, my leg really itches. God damn. Bring back the elevator music. Yeah, it's probably. I'm considering doing like a chill synth thing from White Bat Audio. The dude that does all my other music that I play on here. He's got some good chill synths. He does a lot of synthy stuff. So I just pick out the stuff that sounds like Doom, basically. Let me turn this light on. Okay, let's see here. Well, what? Oh, let's see what we can do with the alternator first. Then I want to get the oil plugs in. We may, I still don't have the like foam for an oil filter, so I gotta find that. Or I may use a lint-free rag or something. I don't know. Because like the stuff I see people use for foam is like the foam that like would normally be up here to like hold stuff in, but like mine didn't come with that. Mine just came with this dense ass foam that I don't think would do well as a filter. Where's the mouse? Hello. There it is. Let me move this over a little bit, zoom it in a little bit. Oh no. C2S is going to start a fucking war. Alright, that was. That's sitting on something last week. Yeah, that works. A little tall, but not bad. Alright, so we need to. Yeah, actually, I don't know why I did that because we're going to be moving this around. We need to get into here from what Edge. It's like Ed and everybody else showed me. Got a lot of pictures in the email last week. I was pretty frustrated. Alright. So we have to add. Let's see. First, let me get myself centered. Okay. So this little adjuster guy. Oh crap! All right. Whoever did the pictures last week, I don't have them in front of me. Is the adjuster up? Oh no, the adjuster's got to be up. Yeah, because then you're going to tighten that up top. Okay, never mind. Carry on. Carry on my wayward son. There will be when you are. Lay your head to rest. Don't you smell my farts? There's your background music. Hits of the 4090s. There's everything being. Oh, this is all being held in place. That's good. By the other bracket. I think that's fine. Thing that is weird is that we're going to get this bracket in here. But this has this spacer on it. And when we put that bracket, it's going to push the belt out. Like, did anybody think about that? Well, let's just take this off and see what we can figure out here. Because it has this little spacer in it. No replacement for the broken fitting. That is in the mail. Should be here in a couple days. But we can deal with that when it arrives. See, it's got this small bush here to space it out. So that the bearings stepped out. This comes with a new bushing, but it's for the alternator itself. So, alright. This is definitely an unusual project. Because everything I'm seeing on them pictures tells me it's right there. So, let's do that. Wonder why they went with a blower type belt instead of the ease of to replace an O-ring. I mean, for the drive belt? Probably because this is torquier than an O-ring can handle. I mean, that and it looks cool. Let's see how far out of whack this belt's going to be. That's going to be interesting. I'll say that. I have a feeling we're going to be losing. We may need to like thin this belt out because most of these pulleys are not aligned. Alright, cool. Cool. Moving right along. Let's put this here in the bushing. I said stop stuffing your... Who's stuffing who with who? Abraham Lincoln was the lawyer when a steamboat ran into the previous bridge, current bridge. What bridge? And we still need to solder wires. I need to find lighter weight wires to solder on there. But at this point, I'm just curious to see if this will tension up right. Like, I'm curious just to see what the belt looks like if it does get tension on there, because this is so whacked out. I get this Nizut on there. No. But it just make May miss it not having a blower, right? Zap, oh, Zap there? Where's that? There we go. What's up, Zap? I have to get some really small needle nose pliers for working with stuff in here. All right, so that's supposedly how that's set up. Well, let's see what happens when we try to put a belt on it. That. Doesn't seem right. I seem to remember this being pretty tight on there. Where's the belt routing? That there is a picture of. Well, there's a picture of the engine with a belt on it. Really? Oh, that's right. That's the sideway picture. So, I don't know. Unless they change the routing for the alternator. Yeah. Doesn't seem like it. The circuit board is hitting the fitting. I mean, it's almost on there. Let's see what's going to be the easiest split. Like that. Everything is seated in the pulley. There we go. Yeah, and then when we pull it back, it'll pull that regulator back, but those wires, you can see, I don't know, can you see in there? Yeah, you can see the circuit board, how close it is to that fitting. And that's fine. And I would love to just reclock it so that it's up here, but this mounting bracket, it would be changed, so we're kind of stuck with that. All that. It looks like the belt might stay because it isn't quite the full width of the big pulleys, so it's got some room to move around in there. All right, so we know how the belt goes on. More pick sense. All right. Are you wearing pants in those pictures? Just so I have a warning of how much cannabis I should have before. Hey, I think I ordered new hose too. Let's see. So that's how that would go. We'll just leave that on there for now. We're not going to tighten any of the tension stuff off because I know I'm going to be taking the alternator back off for soldering. But at least we know that it works. And almost there, if you look at that pulley, I wonder if that's for a secondary accessory. Or, well, in this case, it would be a, what's the word I'm looking for? Tertiary accessory? Number 3. Maybe that's for O-rings. or it's just to be fancier. Alright, so we got that going. Now, the rest of this, like, the rest of it is just you're on your own. Like, it just feels like there's instructions missing. Where's the oil pan? Because there is no, I don't have a drain plug in there yet, but I feel like we knew that. Where is the oil pan installation? Because the starter shows the oil pan already installed. Oh, the oil pan's all the way down. Whatever. Alright. Number 10, number 38. Weird. It's plus M4 screws. Alright, let's see. Number 10 and number 38. AI picture. Oh, yeah, there we go. Did you know Raymond Burr had a brother who was a lumberjack? His name was Timber. Timber! So number 10. That's that. Huh? Number 38 is a very small green O-ring. How many are there? 3 pieces. 3. So that would be this one. There's like a ton of all these extra O-rings and see like all these little O-rings and stuff. I'm like, where the did those go? Like maybe, oh, those might be for those, are those for the intake maybe? Because that's got recesses in it. I don't know. Alright, so let's put that little guy on there. I want to put the drain plug in, one, just to see, like, there's a lot of hardware left over. I know we still got a bunch of stuff to do, but put the drain plug in there. Put the fill plug in as well. They painted over the threads, which is always lovely. TNT, it's dynamite. Cats love showing their buttholes whether you want to see it or not. That is very true. I would definitely know that for sure. Whenever it's it's usually Lee that's like, hey, look at my butt. I'm like, yeah, I know who you are. I don't need to sniff your butt, but thank you. Right, here's the fill plug. It's a little rubber plug. That's cool. I took that out of the oil pan just in case. But that's good. Feeling like maybe we should go ahead and put the intake on. But let's see, what else do we have? We got the we got the intake. The other thing we can start doing is, since everything we're doing is up, maybe we can get this mounted on the stand today. Maybe some of these screws are for engine mounts or something. I mean, I have my own screws. I'm not going to use any screws out of here because it is a shame they don't tell you what, besides what pieces are. It's a shame that in the descriptor, at least like in the manual, they don't tell you like what they fit. Like the RC car, like that told you, not only did it tell you how many there, what they were and how many there were supposed to be, but it also told you what it fit. I'm looking through here for, where's the intake? Oh, let me go up to the intake. Let me see how you're supposed to mount that. That's actually kind of down here, ain't it? There's the lifters. No, that just has gaskets. No, oh no, it does have it has O-rings and gas. 3x5 joint. 37. Alright, so this gets gaskets and O-rings on the intake. That's a lot, but okay. Like it's based on the small block Chevy, and they leak like sieves, so I guess we'll go with it. What happens if I spin this right now? Everything's moving. Okay. But yeah, this is another thing that can be done while it's on the stand, since I want to get these adjusted first, but shit's in the mail. The wrenches I got, like that little tiny freaking wrenches I got for these nuts. Because I'd rather not try and do that with like needle nose or something, because then it may slip and screw things up. So why don't we do this? Actually, why don't we... Yeah, let's figure out what's going on with the engine mounts. Because otherwise we can do spark plugs in the exhaust tubes. But I'm not trying to wrestle with them with the engine mounts. I'd rather put it on mounts first. Alright, let's see. So where is the stuff for that? All this extra crap out of here. Move that, move this hardware. Spark needs to be checked in the old-fashioned way. Hang on to it. Yeah. I've had to do pretty much that before when couldn't get anything else to work. Just fucking hold it. Oh, yeah, it's good. Yeah, alright, moving on. Been there, done that. It's just the radiator. The plate is behind me, but I think the brackets for it are... Oh yeah, engine bracket. Here we go. And it has hardware, even better. Alright. There. Well, pretty easy to figure out which way that goes. Or how you check a 9-volt battery. Yeah, it's pretty much same for spark plugs. Wish I would have known that. Haven't I taken this starter on and off like fucking 5 or 6 times for all this shit? Like, I'm genuinely concerned that these screws are gonna start failing. Let's go ahead and just get this on out. Where is the long thing? The proper fit for it. Because that's going to take an hour. Oh, top of the hour toot. I'm using my weak ass backup vape. I am totally out of everything. I got to go to the weed store tomorrow. Didn't feel like doing it today. Too tired. Cheers, everybody. But at least I got flour. Started a smoking joint. Oh, that did do shit. Oh, actually, yeah, just enough. Can I get to that screw? Oh, nope. Gotta take the whole thing off. Anyway. Right. So I can get to that screw. We shouldn't need to be rolling this around much anymore since everything on the bottom is done. Kind of fitting. Loosen this fitting so we can get it out of the way of the mount. It's not quite in the way. So that's good as long as it doesn't leak. And why do we have tie straps? Why do we have 2 tie straps? Why do we have 2 of those that don't line up? Okay, they line up there. Why? Because that's milled on a different plane. This face, you know, like this flat is on a different level than this. They couldn't put that, they couldn't mill this down so that this was one even area. I don't get this. Like this whole it's not B2 disappointing, far from it. Well, until we get it all together and it doesn't work. But the general lack of, like, I don't know. Of course, I mean, maybe that's just how it is for these kinds of projects. These screws are awfully fucking short. Maybe that's normal for doing these. I don't know, but it just seems disappointing to me for the money that we spent. But as long as we can get it to work, then whatever. We'll just get it to work. Alright, 9070 XT, then a Lian Li 1000. Well, yeah, doesn't hurt to future proof. My 4090 loves my 850 watt, but since I got the AMD CPU, it's not like there's not much power coming from the CPU itself. I think that thing max, I think that 9800 max is at 140 watts with precision boost override turned on. Yeah, basically self-overclock as best you can because it's an AMD, and AMD's aren't as, generally speaking, aren't as easily overclocked as Intel. And I don't mean like they can't take it, I mean like to get it to work is actually somewhat of a fairly new thing that they've really only started, quote, recently, you know, in perspective, recently in the world of computers. I can't believe that fucking fitting broke. What's up, Norman? How are you? Oh, there we go. Could we be in for a first start? No, not today, no. We're still missing parts to make it run. But we're getting very close. And then, of course, the problem there, Norman, I hate to tell you, is when I start this, it's going to have to be outside because we're dealing with actual gasoline, and I don't have like a vent hood or anything in here, which means I'll have to film it outside with my phone, which means YouTube only. So, I will... What is loose? Alright, it's the mount itself. Alright. Yeah, I haven't, I can dual... Oh, that's because of that. I can dual stream here because, you know, I have the hardware for it, but I don't know how the hell you dual stream from Mobo without using a pay service. You got the 3070 to 3 gigahertz? Yeah, that don't surprise me. I never bothered trying to get it up there because it just fucking ran beautifully as it was. I got the 4090 up to 3 gigahertz. Usually runs between 28 and 2850 on most games. I really can't get most games to pull it more than like 400 watts out of the 500 it can pull. Like it'll run 100%. It's usually only around 400 watts, which is just weird. Unless I do a like OCCT benchmark thing where it'll push it to the full 530. And then listen to my power supply cry. This could be, in fact, a V8 Woofle engine. Yeah, I'm hoping not. These a little snugged up. I'm not going to go full monster torque on them in case we got to take them off again. Well, I guess we'll see. Oh, I just screwed that up. Oh, or did I? Because I probably should have mounted this to the plate first. Let me grab the plates. Let's see what that's got going on with it. I didn't think about that. Hold on. Where'd the plate go? Yeah. I'm like, I'm thinking, if you could see me standing there just staring at it like, I have no idea where this is. Alright, so they give you enough screws for the mounts, but not to go into this itself. That's radiator and engine, so it actually would sit like this. I forget what, and that that would get. Let's see. This doesn't have a mount, does it? No, this just kind of sits there. And then we got the other dude. This little cubey guy. I feel like this was for the. What's this? I feel like this was for the gas. I mean, we could use that. I think it would run forever. I feel like was that any for? I feel like that was for. That maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Does it tell you on the box? No, I forget. I'll have to look at the things, but they're just. I guess it's just gonna sit there. I mean, that'll be held in place by the hoses. Oh wait, there's a whole bunch of mounting shit here. Foxy Boo has acquired a new pug. One of my bosses is a pug guy. Okay, what are these black brackets? Okay. Long ass screws. Something. Big ass fittings. Like, am I missing something else here? Ow. Ooh, that was weird. That's just that. That can do nothing else. Oh, are these for the radiator? If that's the case, then why is there only one? I already put fittings in the radiator. Maybe that other one's the radiator cap. Ooh, easy. Alright, there's the one. This is the other one. Okay. Why does this have a brass disc in it? Long ass screws, big ass fittings. Yeah, that's yeah. So this is like a vented. Looks like it, I'm guessing it's vented, but that wouldn't really work for antifreeze. Yeah, it's definitely vented. Okay, so that's going to go here. Guessing these long ass screws are to put a fan on here. That would make sense. But I know we had two of these fittings at one point. Pretty sure we did. Let's figure out where the other one went. Oh, sitting right here, you dumbass. There's the radiator. Oh no, that's for the, yeah, that's for these. Put on a fan. Alright, start to figure this out. Some of it, I still don't know what they're gold, the brass pucks for this breather. I guess this breather is if I don't know. No idea why there's a breather head there or breather cap. This is something like that. Wherever the, let's see, I guess the radiator goes there. Then a fan will go behind it. It'll suck air that way. These will just come right, theoretically, just come right up the sides. And then up into wherever they plug into. Alright. So I'm going to have to find a fan for that. Okay. Over there. Over there. Loose mounting screws. Nice. There. There's all my O-rings. The brass thing. Breather for the fuel tank. I don't know because I'm pretty sure this is the fuel tank. And that doesn't thread on to this. This is just a big fucking cab. This just doesn't do it. I just have to look up the kit and see if they have any clue as to where that goes. This can go away. We have these throughs. I'm guessing those are for the bottom. To hold that on. Here's our set of gaskets. That up there. Let's put this brackets with the radiator as well as these two mounting screws. These two, and I'm betting these 4 screws in the bottom are for the engine mount because this did come as a kit. So let's consolidate this bag. Brass disc as a restrictor plate for cooling. I was kind of thinking that, but I don't know where you put it. What's inside these fittings? Yeah, I mean, unless it's... I was thinking maybe you drop it in there for direction, but that doesn't really... I mean, it fits in there. But I was thinking, oh, well, maybe that's to control direction of the flow, but as soon as it gets pushed, it's just going to fall out. But it does fit absolutely perfectly in there. But then it also falls perfectly out. So, I don't know. Let me put these long screws. Yeah, it just took me a second to look at them and then look at the radiator and go, that's fan mount hardware. You've dealt with this a million times in the past year or two. I have to put the brass puck in there for now. I'll figure out what that is. That's the trouble part of the instructions for this. Yeah, it's basically like at least a B2 had instructions. This has some of them. Little bags. Is that empty? That's empty. That's empty. That's empty. We'll just leave that tank sitting there for now. Guess I'll save one big bag in case we need it. Stuff that. Alright, let's see if these fit this. No. That's like floppy. That's the wrong threads. Does that fit? Oh, I see. Okay. So this is set up so that these short screws go on one side of the fan. The long screws go on the other. That way you're not dealing with the mount at the same time. All right. So let's just go ahead and just thread these into here as the reminder of where they go. Yeah, they thread perfectly in there. All right. So these short screws are for the mount. The long screws for the fan. Figured they'd just have it combine the two, but whatever works. This just makes it easier because now you don't have as much stuff to line up. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a punch-out piece they left in there. I've thought the same. I've actually seen that before. this back one. Does this one have any specialness to it? Nope. Seeing if like one of them had maybe something different in there for holding it in, but they do not. I mean, I don't know. As long as the pump works right, I don't know that you'd have to worry too much about the direction of flow, but let's see, that there. These O-rings. Yeah, let me, obviously I'm going to take a second here. Let's kind of put some stuff together. That goes there. Because it just got really messy really quick. I got all these little tiny screws. I feel like they came with the kit. I don't know where they go. Oh, no, these are probably out of this, my hardware pack. These may be the 2.5mm one. No, those are silver, so these are those. Okay, those go in the box. There's extra hose, more extra hose, another little pack of hose. That's good. Another goddamn bag. Got a million of these loose bags everywhere, and they don't really give you much much on making. I'll have to look see if they give you anything on making the spark plug wires. They might actually. Let me put the oil filter can in the hardware thing so don't get lost. Another freaking bag. I don't know why that's there. Pancakes! Blackwatcher needs to cook something. Ooh, where's the noise? That. Where is it? Yesterday, give a toast. Is it 20? Oh, it's 20 after. Well, thank you, Mr. S. I will indeed give a toast here. Let's see. Let me grab the other one. This one's the light, very light nicotine one. It's very light nicotine, way too much fucking flavor. But whatever. Just try it once and then I'll be done. Cheers, everybody. Happy 420. All right. So we have some adjustability. Well, actually, not really. It's like we have some adjustability here. No, we don't. That's our mounting screws. That's cool. Now, that should be fine. Calm down. I don't know what that's for. I don't know. Maybe that's different. Oh, yeah, you can't see. Slots, they kind of match that, but that almost looks like a punch out too. That one's actually bent already. This one's bent already. That kind of sucks, but we'll cover it up with whatever. Okay, there's the mystery cap. Let me put that with the rad for now. The starter over there with both of its screws magnetically stuck to the side of it. Perfect. There's some of the extra crap. Okay, sorry. Ugh. Ugh. What state are you physically located in now there, Fama? Is that? Guess the spark plug wires are done the way spark plug wires are done when they're big. That's gotta... Man, that's looking a little kinked out a little. Let me move this one some. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay. So we need to find screws for this. I'm surprised it didn't come with them. Because this is an aftermarket kit, but maybe they just didn't, since there's so many options, they just didn't include anything. So let's see what we have. Oh, right, Canada, that's right. That's right. Provinces, yeah. I've only been there once. Don't stop screaming at me, man. Let's see, 6mm. Look once it's through. Well, assuming it's the right thread, and it is. That's nice. That is closer to the oil pan than I would like. Like, it's got good clearance, but let's see what a 4mm does. I believe these are both 2mm thick, which means this should probably be Perfect. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, 4mm is the way to go on that. Okay. Should just be enough to get in there and fill it full of thread with not much, if any, sticking past. Maybe half a thread. Okay. Let's get 4 of these. Glad I had this extra, already had some of this hardware for 3D printing stuff. That whole hardware pack was bought just for putting 3D printed stuff together. There. Okay. This is going to go like that. There we go. Okay. Oh, why did I grab I was like, yeah, 4 will be perfect. Let me grab a bunch of 6s. Dumbass. Hold on. Old Ontario. I've been to Toronto. That's it. See, that was... Yeah, that was the only time I've ever left the country. Drove up there. The whole car club drove up there at once. Whole fucking convoy of us to go, quote, save money on shipping and handling for a body kit. Like a ground effects kit, you know, like around the bottom of the car and shit. But I ended up spending about the same amount of money. Except we got to have a car club trip. And we got to do an impromptu install at the manufacturer's location, at their like warehouse or whatever. That was fun. A fun trip. Of course, I guess any trip that you go on and you get, you know, some little bit of action. But yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, yeah, I've gotten action outside of the country. I hadn't thought about that. It was someone that went with us, but it wasn't Canadian booty per se. When was I in Toronto? Let's see, how old am I? I'm 48. 2025. About 20 years ago, roughly. Cat fur on everything, as one would expect in this house. Okay, now we have it mounted. That should make things either convenient or horribly inconvenient. It slid all the way forward. What does that give us for clearance back here? Maybe we are going to switch to those other mounts with nuts and bolts, because that may not be enough clearance. We'll see. Point of having this big ass plate and have this hanging off the back. Yeah, that's going to have to hang off the back like that. It sucks, this thing's all scratched up out of the box. These do line up. So I can move it forward more. Which I really, like I said, I would like to do that. I don't see the point of having this big ass plate in the... God damn, this thing's loud. A bunch of shit hanging off the back of it. So let me switch mounts. I'll get the... At this point, I'll get the 10mm. Of course, that is actually... Oh, wait a minute. We're going to see if we can do that. The way that oil pan is, because this is very tight to the oil pan. Actually, maybe we can move these up to here and then use 2 of the center mounting points. That would probably be perfect. Let's try that before we even try anything else. Oop, other way. That'll put 2 there. Then we can put 2 under the oil pan, I believe. Yeah, I think it's backwards, engine the other way around. Well, all the pictures I've seen have it, like the radiator behind it. The belt's up front. So if we loosely mount it like that, that's what I'm thinking. Because like all the pictures I've seen have the belts on the front. That's why I'm kind of doing it like that. Because then, with these big brackets, radiator, and a fan, like it comes within, because they actually have it, so this does not even look good. But I mean, you can put it up here, have it almost right up against the thing. Oh, wait a minute. Those work like this. Well, how the hell is that going to work? Are you supposed to hang this thing off the back? Well, no, because then you need the fittings to go forward. What in the fuck, man? Like, I just, like, you can see, like, when you put the brackets on, I'm only going to be able to use one screw. I'm going to have to check some more pictures. I think we're just kind of to the point where I need every picture of this engine ever fucking taken, so we can figure out what kind of hokey bullshit they're trying to get us to do here. Because this is starting to turn into some hokey bullshit unless I'm just missing something really obvious. Belt to rad there, Jack? Really? I don't know. I'm going to tell you what, I'd rather see the belt myself. So if I can make it work like this, I'm going to try it. Because, like, I, I don't know. I don't see the, like, if I'm going to look at something, I want to look at the belt end of it, but. I probably have a fan. That's probably an 80 millimeter. This may be a short stream. I don't know. 70 millimeter. Do I have a 70? I know I have 60s. I don't know how. Just order one. That's fine. All right. What else bolts onto this? I'm not gonna put the starter on in case we gotta take this mount off now, since I'm just kind of all over the place with this. But I do think we can go ahead. Ooh. Yeah, me too. I want to see the workings much better that way instead of hiding it behind a radiator. Yeah. Yeah, hey, I might 3D print a shroud. You never know. I mean, it won't need one. It's actually the shroud's going to be built into the fan because the fan it's just a computer fan. But besides that, wait a minute. So okay, that's interesting. I'm guessing that's the front, which really makes this whole thing weird. I mean, at that point, you might as well turn it around if we're going to be looking at it sideways. This is. I think the thing is like really, if you're going to sell a product, like you can't take 5 minutes to give some directions, little tips, tricks. That's going to be a pain in the dick. All right, where are the boots? Let's look at the boots. Did they tell you which boots go where on here? How are you going to lose a finger with a computer? Um, I don't know. My gaming rig's heavy enough; it'll just chop your finger off if you drop it on you. Pick on its way, see what you think. All right, all right. What the hell was I getting ready to scroll? Oh, spark plug, wires, wire. Connecting high voltage live. Okay, 1.2 meters long. That sounds about right. And it doesn't actually tell you what you're doing with them. There's no crimpy ends like a regular spark plug, so I guess you just cut it and jam it in there and expose some wire. Nice people. Alright, let me see what pictures we got coming here. Get an idea of what we're looking at. Because at this point, I'm kind of over trying to do a whole lot of custom shit for it besides the ID plate with everybody's name on it. Because this is already too much custom shit I gotta do to make it work. God damn. What the hell is that picture of? And what just happened? I can't see. Oh, Norman's got that. Oh, yep. That 1 hour stretch. Ugh. All right. Oh, yeah, I forgot to fix that. Yeah, everybody take a stretch. This is for everybody. Get something on. At least put your arms over your head. Oh. All right. Thanks, Norman. All right, that picture is fucking weird. Don't know what they're trying to show you there. All right. There's that belt picture, belt picture, belt picture, belt picture, sideways picture. Is there another email coming? Did you send this that one, or did you send another one there, Jack Attack? Sometimes my emails take a second to show, as I've said. But let me go force it. Check now. Checking. One mail fetched from Jack Attack. Hmm. Huh. That's weird. Alright, I'm gonna have to browse some more setups, watch some videos, see if everybody did this a specific way or if there's a little bit of room for adjustment. I'm also going to have to see what they want to do with these if we're just using bare ends on the wires. Because they don't give you any clues, just do it according to length. Okay. Spark plug is recommended to lubricate oil. Oh, yeah, they want you to lube up the fucking thingies so that they don't fall off, but that's pretty common. Where did the mouse go? Great, I just clicked something. I have no idea. It's like a screw in the boot. There's like nothing, no threadies, no nothing. Nothing in here. So there's no crimp ends for which I guess would be kind of difficult. It is a little small. But from what I can tell, the bigger boots go on the spark plugs, which would make sense. Smaller ones there. I guess I'm gonna have to, I'll check, see if Q90's got something on it. Also gonna have to see, like what the fuck do they want these gaps to? That listed? Let's see, adjusting the ignition of the power distributor. Like some of these fucking pictures they send are just, I have no idea. Oh, where else go? Sorry, a little quiet here, just trying to figure this out. I don't see anything that even indicates the spark plug gap. Which we got our feeler gauges, so that's easy enough to do, but... Well, yeah, I know that the belt is always against the radiator on vehicles. I've seen a couple. However, for display purposes, you usually see the belt forward and the radiator somewhere else. Even for like full-size engine displays, this is always the front. That's why I want to try and change that around. Which I don't think it would be a problem. Just need longer hoses or whatever. And if we did that, this gigantic fucker could sit there. And then we can see, well, I guess people are just printing something or just double-side tape for the fuel, for what I believe is the fuel tank. Where's the carburetor? Yeah, it's got tiny fittings on it. That's got tiny fittings. These have big fittings. Coolant has big fittings. So, I'm feeling this is going to be coolant overflow, like quite the significant, like this is going to be so much coolant overflow. Compared to the engine, like we may not even hook a fan up to it unless we need to, because there's going to be plenty, but we'll see. If we have to hook a fan up to it, it's, you know, it's 10 minutes. But maybe if I don't have, I don't know. We'll see. I'll get a fan for it. I know I'm not the only person that does that. When you're talking yourself through a situation, you change your mind 50 times and you go, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I just did. Okay. So we got that, we got that little fuzz, that weird mounts, wires that don't make any sense. Big jug. Good lights here sitting randomly. Oh, that's our UV light. Here you go. Now everybody's sanitized. All right. Okay. Just gotta remember not to like pick it up like that, because then you're putting like the tiniest little bit of stress on these fucking things. These I can still get to. That I can still get to put that on. Which I'd probably have to take off to get the wiring to it anyway. Guess that's just screw wires. Cool. And spark plugs. At this point, let's see, spark plugs versus headers. So see how much in the way of the wrench they are. See, I don't think they'll be in the way at all. So why don't we put the... Actually, we'll put the spark plugs in first. Well, actually, no, shit. Don't put one on yet. You mean the intake? Yeah, I'm not putting that on. But we can't put the spark plugs in because I have no idea what the gap is. Figure that would be something kind of obvious they talk about in here. Like I see a bunch of blah 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 millimeter, this millimeter, that millimeter, but that don't mean shit because it's all surrounded by, what is that, kanji? Oh no, that's hardware. 1.5, 2.0, 2.5. 92/95. That's a random number. I'm guessing that's octane. Something says 12 volts at 15 amps. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because that ain't doing 15 amps. And that's what they recommend for like charging for a charger or something. Let's see, random shit. 28 milliliters, 3 to 5, 2 millimeters, which is definitely not the gap. 10 degrees, okay, so 10 degrees of timing, which is pretty typical. 0.1 millimeter, that would be valve lash. What other numbers do we have? I doubt it's 1 millimeter. can't imagine it would, like, some engines are, but I can't imagine this would be that. Any other weird numbers that look familiar? Flip the headers for a mud truck look. Yeah. Actually, these you can't. You actually can flip these. But I'm sure that would end up getting in the way of something. If we try to get too fun with this, we're going to really be disappointed. Hey, here's some sort of spec. I'm guessing there's that 92 again. I'm guessing that's 92 octane. 14 plus 6 to 14 volts, 44 cc, stroke, overhead valve, carburetor, oil pan, some random page with blue dots on it. I can only assume that had something important on it. Alright, well, I guess we ain't doing that. Yeah, because they don't even mention the spark plugs really in here. There's no pictures, no nothing, because it doesn't come with spark plugs. So they just said, fuck it, I guess. I guess I'll see if I can find the specs online. Yeah. Alright. By the way, do you know what 50 cents did when he got hungry? 58. No. 58. It's not confusing enough. Make it more confusing. Yeah, why not? Why not? Alright, we can't do the spark plugs, which means we can't do the wires, because we don't know the gap. We don't know that. But we can at least put the headers on. I don't see those being a problem. I'm just going to put them on regular. I'm trying to get too crazy with it. Where'd the other header go? There it is. Yeah, other belts, the gaskets. You sent a screenshot? Okay. Exhaust tubes. This is, yeah, I kind of feel like this doesn't even tell you when you put the exhaust on. Or does it? I don't know. Because there are quite a few steps they just don't list. There's exhaust. Oh. Nope. Update on April 23rd, 2024. We have customized screws with smaller screw heads in the later stage. If you want easier disassembly in that later stage, you can contact us to obtain. Buried in the middle of nothing. Alright, cool. That's not actually a header picture. There's that. Does not actually tell you what screws to use. Unless number 15 is a bunch of screws. Oh, they are. Okay. It says 15, but it points at the header. I don't know, maybe that's a picture of a screw in there. It's kind of hard to tell. Put some leftover steak fried sliced thin on that breakfast. Oh, yeah, any kind of steak. But I'm with you. See the belts and work. Yeah. That's the intake. Those are the headers. And there's these little. These little silver things. What the fuck are those for? Like, it's. I don't know. Like I said, if we can get it running, cool. Otherwise, like, at this point, I hate to say it, I kind of regret buying this kit. Fucking. That's not right. Did he not punch the holes down or something? Maybe not all of them, I guess. Like, did they just miss? Or, like, I'm pretty sure we're doing more than. Oh, that doesn't make sense at all. This for the intake side? so that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay, so this is the intake gasket. Oh, these header. Oh, these are the header. These are monster. They're like fiberboard. I think they're literally like circuit board, fiberboard. Let's see, half quarter type spark plug. Generally recommended to start with 0.6 millimeter. All right, cool, Jack Attack. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to do. Just Google it, see what AI told me. I mean, 25 sounds about right. All right, now does this... See how these line up, but like, what the... Like, are we just going to have big gaps in there? And what is the rest of this shit on here? Well, that's not right. That must be, oh, that's a secondary thing for the intake. That's a spacer for the intake. I guess there's no exhaust gaskets? They don't give you an exhaust gasket. Those are both intake gaskets. Those are doubled up intake gaskets. When I first went through these, I figured one was intake, one was exhaust, but no, those are both intake. So, you expect this flim flam of a header to just seal up there? Oh, wait. Hold on. There's O-ring bosses in there. But they don't tell you to put O-rings in there. But there's O-rings. So if we have 16 of these O-rings, which we do, that's what they're using for a gasket. All right. Now let's see what we have that fits this. Pick that up. Smoke that. Where you at, buddy? Not there, not there. Rough out. Put them away. Big fucker there. Not in there. Where the hell did I put those at? Hmm. And that's not right. Where's the other one? It's even worse. What the fuck? No way there's that big fucker. Where is the handle? Oh, the handle's empty. Put that down so I can speak. That's too small. That's too small. Too big. And that's all my sizes. So there's one missing. That's the missing one, but that's gigantic. Is that? Oh, they got some really thin walls on these, on the head of this. Oop. So this has the, quote, updated one, as you can see. I might be able to say. Trying to see how thin that is, especially compared to the other ones. For onion, well, it could be for onion rings. Yeah. This is like the cheap Chinese knockoff of the real thing. Yeah, you know what? That is not a bad way to describe this. I can't imagine if somebody makes a knockoff of this, like, good lord, what's it going to be made out of? Cardboard? Come with one O-ring? And like a $5 miscellaneous hardware kit that goes, this might work. That's, can't really get much worse than what we're dealing with. Unless you go that far. That babe is like fucking weak as shit. Well, let's see if we can. See, I don't mind having this. Is that gonna sit in there? Nope. I don't mind having that plate on there as well, because now it's a little more interesting to move around. Okay. Yeah, we got one loaded up there already. Always start in the middle and work your way out. I think I explained that before, but if I didn't, I'll show you now. As soon as I put this one in, other center one in. All right, whenever you're working on flanges, heads, headers, anything long that needs to be bolted, you always start in the center and then work your way out. That way, if it's bowed, it's got like a bow to it. If you bolt down the outside, then you're trying to flatten a bow and you get that wavy shit because it just won't flatten right. But if it's bowed and you start in the middle, you push it flat, and then you work your way out and you just sort the flatness out and you start back in the middle again. And granted, if a head has a bow in it, it should be sorted out, but that doesn't always happen, so and sometimes you just can't tell, or it's so subtle that it wouldn't really matter. But if you do it wrong, then it might matter, you know what I mean? For under 200 bucks, it's a great kit. Yeah. Yeah. And just think, I got this on sale. Altogether, I think it was like 2,300 bucks. So even with all this BS, this fucking thing better run. Still got 8 screws in there. Yep. Paper pistons with wax paper cylinders. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like, if anybody that doesn't know mechanical stuff or like hasn't dealt with this before, bought this kit, they would be very disappointed. I mean, I'm obviously not super happy about the quality of it. Well, the quality of the instructions, I should say. And the fact that we're like mid-upgrade. Like, some of the upgrade parts are here, some of them aren't. But of course, all the upgraded holes and should have been made. Just, what a mess. My head isn't wavy, but it is lumpy. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, at least put that on the right way. Where'd the other O-rings go? There they are. Let's just prop that up like that. Get in your home. Guess the... No. Everybody stay there. Screw. Screw, screw, screw. Get in there. Don't cross thread, you motherfucker. Why is that one not one? Like that, this one header is kind of in the way on this side. There we go. Started the cross thread, fixed itself. Nice. Sure that left the threads in great shape. It really is like working on a small block Chevy. Oh yeah, that one's way in the way of the bolt. Jesus. Yeah. Well, like Chevy long tube headers, they're all in the way too, but damn, not this bad. You can get to them. You get to them by getting Allen head key bolts just like this, and then it's not a problem. But this already has those. Wow. Like these two here are going to be a shit show, I think. Like they're going to have to get started slightly sideways. Hopefully they will kind of correct themselves. Kind of makes you wonder, like, dude, is this all done in the same building? And I say that because, like, since we received whatever instructions, I don't fucking know. But since we received an upgraded engine, but not the upgraded hardware, missing half our O-ring, well, more than half the O-rings. Because they were part of the upgrade. Yeah. Like one of those things, like it's got great potential. They just missed it. All right, well, let's see if we can get these in. No, I'm not worried about anti-seize on these. If it runs, I don't see us ever taking it apart again anyway. And if it fails, like say for instance, because the head of this screw won't actually clear the fucking header. I think that's farting garage. Felt a little cross-threaded, but then it sorted itself out, so I think we're okay. It went in straight. Jesus, like the head of these things is in the way of tube, or the tubes are in the way of the head of the. That is amazing. Good lord. Oh, toot toot. Oh, okay. Yeah. What's a cat's favorite type of Mexican food? Burritos. If it doesn't run, it doesn't matter to fling with a trebuchet. Yeah, really. Fling it right back to Stirling Kit. Thanks for your help, assholes. Donk. What's that little bushing for? I really wish they would have labeled these fucking things. Like, there's a cool little bushing in there. No idea where the fuck it goes. Might be important. I don't know. Now I'm kind of curious. Let's see. What is the part number of said bush? 19. There's some random ass number. There it is. After installation, that's something back here. Oh, that's for that. Yeah. Okay. So there was a spot where nothing fit right, and I made a bushing, but there was a bushing for it. It's just not very clear on the picture, but whatever. That's fine. That worked anyway. Alright, so I got to solder the wires on that. We got that. We can do the spark plugs. 0.25 gap. Chooses slightly less oily. Yeah, 0.25. First one. 0.25, 0.6, 0.25, 0.535. Good enough. Alright, spark plugs. Here. Oh, crap, yeah. You already reminded me on the tube, didn't you? We'll do this one so there's actual smoke. God, I can't wait to get some fresh vapes tomorrow. Cheers, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out through this fucking disaster. Sort of disaster. I don't know. If I can make it work, I'll be happy. Which, yeah, I'm sure we all will. I guess I'll take this down to an exhaust shop. Get some high flow exhaust put on it. Some nice fucking Hooker mufflers. And yes, Hooker is a name brand, not like Hooker. I'm not gonna get like skank exhaust. I have Hooker exhaust on my Suburban. Hooker Super Competition long tube headers, ceramic coated, down to a, you know, their typical flange adapter. Then I straight piped it back to some Hooker's Pro Comp mufflers. Mufflers being a relative term for that. You want a little bit of a lubie on these? All right. Why not? They actually just say lubricating oil. They didn't even say like anti-seize. Just put some oil on the thread. So I'm guessing it's because these just don't get super hot. Do I have a socket for this? Where's that 4-way? One of these fits. That's 5.5. Are you serious? The one that fits is all the way in there? Yep. It says 6.4. But it's the socket all the way up here. So that's less than useful. My little sockets don't have room for the spark plug tower. This doesn't even have a 6 on it. Jesus. So we're gonna have to find a custom socket. That's 6.4? Unless it's 5/8 and they're just calling it 6.4. But I don't have a 5/8 deep socket. Yeah. Oh, do I have that one tool set up here? Nope. Okay. Well, we can at least finger tight them in. We're gonna get something done tonight. Fuck. Oh. So we're still gonna tighten up half the engine. Yeah, these are just, they just said synthetic, like a synthetic oil is fine on them. So, like I said, I'm guessing it's because it doesn't get quite as hot. Tell that's going in there or not. Yep. Okay. I think these are gapped at 0.25. I'm not going to assume that. I'm still going to check everyone and adjust if needed, but see, that's a little worrying too. When you can't just finger type spark plugs into a hole. I mean, granted, I know that the threads will be fine, but or wait, no. 6 millimeters and 5/16, 8 millimeters, 5/16, 6 millimeter is 1/4 inch. A 1/4 inch isn't quite 6 millimeters, so maybe that's 6.4 actually means 1/4 inch. Good. Sorry, I just realized my miscalculation. Alexa, what's 1/4 inch in millimeters?
0.25 inches is 6.35 millimeters.
1/4 inch socket. All right, 6.35, that was 6.4, so yeah, 1/4 inch socket for these deep well. Okay. How do you open these up without blowing them apart? God damn. Or 0.02, yeah. Well, no, I'm not talking about the gap. I'm talking about the socket size. There, Jack Attack. But yeah, I guess could have just gone. Yeah. Come on. Like starts and immediately stops. Okay, there it goes. I feel like there might be little burrs on the outside. Do helicoils come that small? Yes. Yes, they do. I don't know that they get much smaller than that, but I have seen 1/4 inch helicoils. I mean, specifically 1/4 inch, but I'm sure they have metric ones around that size too. Yeah, I think these are gapped at 2.5. Since all you can get is a solid drop out of those. I don't know if you saw me do that earlier, do this and then just put the threads together. Run them around each other and all the extra oil gets transferred to the other spark plug. That one went in fine. That's way sideways. All right. What's up, Paul Norm? Everything's, well, with me, everything's pretty good. Very tired today. The engine, however, is getting more and more annoying. Mostly due to the lack of documentation on how to do anything. Like, we're literally running off of pictures to figure out how to put some of this shit together. This is the cutest little spark plugs. Alright, now we got spark plugs in there. God. My little brother always said metric 7/16. I mean, that's pretty much exactly 11 millimeter. But, yeah, yeah. I've known some people that don't really know the difference between the two as well. So that's just ran over my foot with my office chair. That was fucking different. That'll wake you up in the afternoon. Okay, so we got that. That better look good. The starter can slide in there. It should slide in there. Yeah. Leave that off for now until we get the wiring hooked up to it. But at least we know it fits. We got spark plugs. So we're left to do the intake, valve covers, adjust the valves, tighten the engine mounts, like in total, tighten the spark plugs, tension the belt after I do the alternator thing. Alright. Let's see. Where's the lid for this? Oh, guy. There. Synthetic oil. Alright, we still got a bunch. See, those are probably for the intake. I have no idea what all those are for. Some of them will be for the valve cover. It's going to be interesting to see how much leftover parts we have at the end. Let's see, there's our spark box. What does this have? This just has an actual end on it with that's got a clip on it. That actually has a clip on it, so that leads no tip. But from everything I can tell, it looks like we're just hanging this bitch out loose, and this goes somewhere. Guess we can just put that on an engine mount bolt, or actually to this. This whole thing's going to be grounded. And that, we got the spare belts. We have, that's the distributor plug, wherever the fuck that goes. Is that right out front? Yeah, that's, oh, that's perfect. It's directly under the belt. Perfect. Where else would you put it? And then these things, I have no idea what these are either. They're just strips of, it looks like wire. Old guy assist. That is solid. There's nothing in the middle of it, so it's. Man, I think I hope we don't have to put like. I hope they don't expect us to. Oh no, okay. There's a there's a little track in the intake. And let me guess, this fits perfectly. Well, once you wiggle it out because it's not actually molded. But yeah, that fits almost perfectly. So that's where that goes. Or those. Where'd the other one go? Alright, so those are intake seals that were done. Again, not molded. Probably put them in boiling water. Or I'll get some really hot water in here when we put the intake on. That will, they'll make them a little more malleable. Yeah, that's the word. Okay. And this all goes somewhere. Battery, see, distributor, battery. Oh, this is probably what the factory alternator connected to. Betting. Because that's weird that it's 3 wires that look like phase wires. But we converted the alternator. Which, I don't, yeah, the alternator didn't come with a harness on it anyway. I don't think. Did the alternator? I don't think the alternator had a harness attached to it. It was, yeah, it was just the board. Okay. Let's see. Distributor. That's funny, in all the pictures, they showed a distributor without the plug in it. So you can't see that it's basically right up against the belt. That's cool. So I'm gonna figure out what those little fucking things are. All those little tiny squares that look like miscellaneous punch outs. It almost looks like, they almost look like little vias that were cut off of circuit boards. Like, I think I'm just gonna have to sit here, maybe tonight after the stream, I'll just sit here in this manual and y'all's pictures, and I'm just gonna really go through this. Try if I can pick up a little hints. At the very least, is to figure out where the fuck some of this extra shit goes. It was like those little thingies. How many are there? Where was that? That was in here. I'm guessing there's an even number. There are. 8 of them. They are, I mean, you almost can't feel them in the bag. Those little silver guys. Like, they are really thin. But they were in with the gaskets. Don't know. Didn't see them. 2 plates for each side of the intake rings. Those little fuckers are for the intake? Where's the intake? Whoa, 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 whoa. What time is it? Oh, it's 4:20 somewhere. Hold on. Now I'm curious because the intake was mentioned. If I can find the fucking install for it. Boy, I am cussing a lot, ain't I? Can't imagine why. Fuckers. Intake. Nah, not seen any question. It's always like the things that are in the bags, they're just question marks. Or if they're gaskets, they just show you the gasket. I'll see if I can find them. All right. Yeah, and I gotta adjust the tap. It's once that wrench shows up. So that's the obvious indicator. Once that wrench shows up, I'll know that it's time to do those. Ah, fuck it, let's grab this again. Cheers, everybody. Square things go in boot. In boot? What, like Canada? Like, are we learning what it's all about? Wonder if they. I can't see how they would help with the ignition. Like, I don't like. There's nothing on there that would make them like a clip. The intake has 3 bolts on each side, so that's 6. So I don't see it being for the intake. I don't know where else you would put them unless. I don't think they'd fit on top of the valve. Well, no, because there's 16 valves, 8 spacers. So no, we're not spacing the valves, I don't think. Nothing about spacers there. Can I zoom in on that? Give me some zoom on the header. It seriously won't give me full zoom. Do it. Now, I was seeing if I could see like a square on the header, but I mean, that wouldn't make sense either because that's also 16 screws. 8 square things, 8 cylinders. Yup. Everything on here is in 8s. Taking a quick look here. Well, quote, quick look. Use a number 25 screw plus spring. Oh, yeah, that doesn't work. The blue thing. Not on the valves. I don't see it on the carburetor. I don't see it on the intake. All right, I'm gonna have to blow this up like big full screen tonight and see if I can see those stupid things. Go watch AJ Restoration, that number. It looks like a good for seeing stuff. Okay, let me copy that. Paste that behind me. It'll fucking copy. I'm so happy today. Alright, let's open up a text document over there. Do my Twitch thing. My Twitch titles. Because instead of like uploading a video with like the capture, the title and whatever on Twitch. Oh, there it is. It's got it. You have to go and manually update it every time, and like I guess you can use an app to do that or something too. But all right, so I don't know where those 8 things go. It's not on the oil pan. It's not on the timing cover. It's not on the rails. It's not on the head bolts. Could it be on the rocker rails? Nope. Not on the rockers unless it's under them. Yep. Alright. No, I'll quit looking. I'm just wasting our time now. Alright, so we're getting close to the end. Now we're running into all the dumb shit. So, let's see. That hose is already attached, so that'll just pop one. And then get bolted. Yeah, there is a... Wow, there is a mighty gap. You can see that without me even picking it up. Look at that gap in between there. That's why they have that circuit board spacer. See, there's... What do we got for this? Nope. It's not the valve cover gaskets either. Of which we have no... There's no actual gasket. That's just going to be glued on. That's fine. Nothing under there. I don't think we're running NASCAR restrictor plates on the intakes because those are square. But they look like they fit in one of these little mounting bolts, but there's nothing listed there. So I'm not going to put them there. But we are getting closer. I mean, that's what it looks like with the intake on. Whichever direction it goes. This distributor. Let's investigate this. Obviously, we're getting close to the end here, folks, because we kind of ran out of viable stuff to do without searching every picture. I mean, look at that. There's my finger for scale of plug versus pulley. Right there. That's all you get. We're looking at 6mm clearance. Then I got to cram this in there. And obviously you don't have to bend those wires hard and pull them. Yeah, I guess it would be over on this side is where the CDI is going to end up. All the accessories are over here. Plug it in and pull it over here, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm sure the wire will get in the way. Some random ass screw just sitting here. These. It's on a stand now, so I don't have to worry about breaking any other nipples off. Fuck's sake. I think the rest is just research. I'll see what people are doing with this, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the fuel tank. That'll probably just get double-sided taped somewhere around there. Barrel will just kind of sit back here. I'll figure out a way to stick that, and that'll be good because it's with the radiator here. This will presumably come back, however, and then do right into the radiator and then back into the engine. So that can go there, that can go there. Where's the CDI? The ignition. Oh, that's right, we have ignition and a display. So if we put that there, we can put the ignition, you know, like here-ish. That can go there for fuel. And this little guy, which actually comes with a piece of paper. Oh, this three-way plug is for the CDI box, not the alternator. Okay. Alright, so this is basically just the manual. I'm gonna have to see if I can figure out what coolant temperature they use and like where the hell they put it, because there is an option for a temperature set gauge, like right there. And it says you can get, somewhere I read you could get the optional sensor for it, but do not insert the speed signal line into the temperature signal line. Okay. Okay, the temperature. Okay, if you figure out the sensor, that plugs in right there. So that's power and RPM. That's power and sensor. Switching modes and restart. Okay. Hopefully we won't have to do that too much. TG, high level, low level. Okay. Common single cylinder or 4-cylinder use X1, V8 use 0.5. Okay, the RT. Oh, I see. Our multiple RTs. So RT. That's like the RPM divider for however many signals it's getting. Common signal or 4 signal. V8 use half. Cison V8 X1. Cison X1 V8 X5. Okay, so before use, it is necessary to set a multiple or press the multiple button to activate the program. All right, so it may not turn on until we hit a button. Where'd the thing go? So we may have to hit a button once we start it. Hopefully not every time, but maybe that's just for the first initialization. And this little guy, I mean, we can kind of stick this anywhere. Here's a little screw hole. Maybe we could just put it there with the screw hole, I guess, depending on which orientation the screen pops up. Put that there, double side tape, that's just wrapped weird, double side tape. However, oh yeah, we gotta have to watch that because that exhaust is going to be going right there. But we may get a pipe or something to stuff in there. Okay. So the wrench is in the Amazon box for the valves. That just showed up. I saw that on my phone. Extra hosing and the fittings are in the mail. I think they're in the United States. I think they're showing up Friday. I'll figure out how we do the ignition, which I'm pretty sure I already know, but we'll double check because that's, man, when you only do it with the wire exposed, like, you gotta watch because you could miss very easily when you're going in there. That's my issue with that. All right, so, and then we'll deal with this wire harness, and that gets dropped there. That should plug into there. Or, I'm sorry, I think it was up here. That's power, and that's probably the alternator. We'll see. Well, was the alternator. Now that'll be driven. We'll just do it. Actually, we'll probably run the alternator wires down, like into this slot right here. And then we can have all the circuit boards and shit like that down underneath. Why does this come with that? Where? Okay. Yeah, I gotta read some of the more of this stuff up. I'm not worried about cleaning this up too much. I think that's about it for this week, folks. Obviously, I have a ridiculous amount of research to do. See, I don't think that's even used anymore because that's inside. Yeah. Kind of feel like maybe we should have left the alternator the way it was and used the older style, but I already got everything for the new stuff. But we'll put all the electronics underneath because I got this little guy and I have some other big chunker. Where's that big chunker voltage regulator I got? It's around here somewhere. But yeah, I got an adjustable voltage regulator, but it's kind of big. It's some fucking where in here. It was with it, I thought. But I'll figure out where they are. Or just get another one. Whatever. I can use them. Alright. So, I guess that's it for tonight. Didn't really get a whole lot done. I mean, we got a little bit. We figured out a lot of stupid stuff. Actually, let's take some notes. Let's take notes. Let's see here. What do I have to do for homework? Let's see. First, let's see. We have the tools showing up. Let's see, showing up. Showing up. Tools, hose, fittings. Okay. We need to adjust the valves. Install, install intake. What just happened? Oh, another. Oh, yeah, it is stretch time. Good job. Oh, oh, there we go. That's for everybody. Everybody stretch it out. Ooh, try to get your lower back this time, too. Yeah. Ah. Mm. All right. Thanks for that, Norm. All right. Install intake. Let me write down towards the bottom. Fan. Or rad. That's something I have to do. I'll have to find that or buy one. Let's see. All the voltage stuff. Basically all the wiring I was just talking about underneath. All the voltage stuff. Sort out. Cooling loop. Hopefully we'll have enough hose for this slightly different way I'm doing it. Hook up distributor. Hook up distributor. Spark plug wires. Tighten. See, let's go down here to the Tighten area. Let's see. Tighten mounts. We need to tighten the spark plugs. We need to install the starter. Install starter with wires. Sort out battery. That's one for me to do. That's one that's over here. Let me move this big honker there. Let's just stick that on there. All right. Sort out battery. I obviously have a shitload of 12-volt batteries around. I even have some of the little ones. I maybe grab one of the tiny ones from work. I think we have a couple of, quote, like every year we go through and change out, and actually you're supposed to, as far as I know, it's code in the United States anyway. I think it's like every year or two, you're supposed to replace all the batteries in your fire system stuff, all your backup batteries. I think we have some extra, old backup batteries just sitting around that weren't bad. I'll see if I can grab one of them. If not, we'll just throw something together with lithium ion, like a little 3-cell deal, and just stick it on the bottom and just use a whatever to charge that. That's not a big deal. Battery. What am I missing here, folks? Note taking is brilliant if you can read your hand. Yes. Luckily, I know how to read garbage. Scruff needs food. I'm not super hungry, but I do appreciate the pancake offering. All right, what else am I missing here, folks? Oh, yeah. Square things. Try to figure out what those square things are for. Tighten the mounts, tighten the spark plugs. Oh, tighten the belts. Install intake. That's up there. Valve covers. That's an obvious one, but we're going to write it down anyway. Got the wires, got that, the belts. Sort cooling loop, and I'll put / fitting, because that's part of that. There's that. I guess that's output. Actually, no, that's input. That'll be output. That'll be good, because if this can be in that barrel being... Wait a minute. Is there a pickup tube on one of these? I just thought about that. That's extremely, there's no point in having this if there's... Otherwise, I'm going to have to bleed it out or set it weird. I just thought about that. I mean, granted, we can just fill it. I don't think there's a pickup tube in here. Let's see. Let's take an Allen key. Probably we'll drop it in there, but I'm not hitting anything. I feel like that would have been long enough to hit something. It was there. I gotta do to find a. I'm telling you, man. Am I the only one here that, whenever you need a paperclip to test something, to short something out, to do something, like they're just not there? Oh, there's one. Good spot for that. Wondering where this little charger blicky was. Put that over there. Alright, let's see if this has a pickup tube, because that's also going to be handy to know that we have to bleed the shit out of this if there is no pickup tube. Pretty sure there's a pickup tube, because right, it feels like it's on this one. Because that'll slide all the way around till it gets to there. Click. Alright, can we see how deep that goes? Oh yeah, that goes. That's pretty far down there. Alright, good, good. So we know this has the pickup tube. I'll remember that, and I'll keep that paper clip close. Alright. Put a small amount of fuel in it and blow in each one. Oh, one will bubble, one... Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that there, Subsonic. Yeah, one will bubble, one will just blow through. But yeah, that's definitely the pickup tube there. Good. So that sorts that out. That's obviously built-in pickup down there. How much water? How many milliliters is this? This is 828 milliliters. They tell you you should run a full liter of fuel through this for break-in. I wonder how long that's going to take. I think I need to add a hydrate one. Or actually, no, I think I have a hydrate one up there. I don't know. All right. Details, details. I'm guessing... Are we going to have to mount this up high? Because I can only assume that this is a gravity-fed carburetor. I don't know there's going to be enough vacuum to pull it from... Let's put that anywhere. From down there to up there. So we may actually... I'll have to see what other people have done, obviously. But if need be, we'll just stick this right there. It actually fits pretty good. We can always sit that on top of there if it needs to have a gravity feed. But I'll see what others have done, since there's no fucking explanation for it. Make sure you run scale fuel. Well, that said like 92 octane. So I'm pretty sure you just use regular gasoline in it. Mount fuel off radiator. Yeah, I could either radiator or the barrel. We'll see what works if it needs to go up high. It might not. Once it's bled out, it well, yeah, no, say once it's bled out, but this has ventilation all through it, so it's not going to hold pressure. We'll figure it out. Let's see. That'll be over here. Fuel tank mounting. Fuel tank mounting. That way I know it's how does it mount and not like I need a mount. That's here. Actually fits pretty good in there. Sorry, I'm surprised when things for this engine work well at this point. Okay. I think that's a good list to start. Add another engine as a fuel pump. That, you know what? As long as I don't have to fucking build it. No fuel pump. It has an oil pump, an external fuel pump, and an external water pump. So no fuel pump, which I wouldn't expect on a draft engine. Well, a draft engine this small, I should say. I guess we'll sort out a throttle spring too, since that's just whatever. Might be able to get a spring to run over to here. Actually, there's a little... No, it's not going to fit there. Might be able to make it fit. Where's the flathead? If I take that out that way, tighten that up with it aimed the way I want, which would be up there. Alright, so that pump goes there, that pump goes there, then we got a big fitting here and a big fitting here. So I'm guessing those would be in and out, because that obviously would be going to the radiator, or to this thing. Well, actually, yeah, we'll put it in the radiator first, cool it off, then take it over to the big can, then from the big can, it can come back into the water pump. So it'll get cooled by the radiator, get diluted by whatever's in the can, and then come back over. I mean, granted, from what I understand, we don't need this much extra coolant, but fuck it. We got it. Cassie sent it to us. We're going to coolant this. We're going to choke this fucker with coolant if we have to. Of course, as much as they're admitting in the manual that it leaks its ass off, I assume we're going to need that much extra coolant as the rest of it just goes on the ground or into the crankcase. Either way, we're either going to have a mess or chocolate milk, so. Can't be there are no engines. Well, not gravity, vacuum. Yeah, sorry. If you can't on a, especially on some, there's a couple of small engines that once they start getting a little rough, the vacuum doesn't really work that well on them because the engines get older. And then I find if you just move the fuel tank up, you gravity feed it, and it works fine. But either way, we'll see. Gravity just feeds vacuum. Like I have a couple engines set up like that right now. But not in a practical application, right? But I've seen gravity-fed prime mowers use on a stand use gravity and a vacuum across the jet. Yeah, that's like my what do I have set up like that? No, not my. Oh, my one generator is now gravity fed. Well, I actually had it gravity fed and it wasn't working great, so I actually had to add a fuel pump to it, give it a full 5 psi. But that's because I modified the engine a little bit. But you know, then you need. Oh, wait. The lizard people would disagree. They gravity feed engines great. Well, see, lizard people know. Oh well, Mr. S says crab people. Or carb people? Or people walk around with carburetors? Then you need to put the gas tank at the level of the carb. Yeah, we may have to raise this up just to assist. But like I said, I'll see what other people have done. I mean, it's only this far, so it's not... It's this far, and it's going to be in this hose. So I don't know that gravity is going to be that big an issue. It's not like a 1/2 inch hose or like a 1 inch hose full of hydraulic shit or whatever. It's going to be really thin. So we'll see. All right, check that. Check that. I met some lizard people last week, says Osborne. What's up, by the way? They live at the southernmost point of England, mainland UK. Well, I know some people down there. They might qualify as lizard people. He's sitting here laughing. He sent parts for mutable and what? Mutable engines? What? Okay. All right. Anyway, I got some notes. Oh. Wire up alternator. Still got to do that. Once we sort a little bit more of this, I'm going to get a little bit closer to see where everything else lands, and then we'll deal with the alternator. That's just like everything wiring on here just barely fucking clears anything. That's the bummer of it. Did we actually check to see if this alternator works? I know that there would be an easy way to do that. Oh, alright. We got notes. Crab people live beneath us all. Well, yeah, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if crab were the ultimate fucking species since everything's evolving to them. I mean, you look at it, you got armor on the outside, big fucking claws. You can live land and sea. I mean, obviously, as far as I know, they have to be pretty close to the water, but they can come out of the water for at least a little while. Like, they can do whatever they want, and then they just chomp people and eat shit. Like, if you can eat shit and survive, then, like, you're fucking doing good. Did you hear about the man who swallowed 6 plastic horses? Thankfully, his doctor said he is stable now. I got an OTF auto knife that holds scalpel blades. Ah, that could be a little rough. All right. We got some notes. Unless anybody else can think of anything else, we'll at least start there. Oh, man. Okay. Microphone noise over. Stream Deck's asleep. Wakes ass up. Move this back over here. Well, actually, we didn't really end that early. We just the last bit of it was just frustration. But, well, crabs are great too. That's why I eat crab cakes all the time. So actually, that would work out. If people just turned into crab people, I'd still be eating the same things. It'd just be in crab form. So that would work. Okay. And I'll do research tonight on that. I'm going to chill anyway. I'll probably end up. Actually, is Mike still streaming? I ain't going to bounce anybody over to Mike because I don't bounce. I only bounce gaming to gaming and talking. But is Mike still going? Sorry. Now I'm doing stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with the show, but that's just kind of what we do here. Anytime you want to start, there you go. Mike is still going. He has 53 people. All right. So I can turn him on while I'm doing research. Cool. Okay. Meat and pancakes? I mean, actually, I kind of see that because it's almost just like a sweetbread. Dude, hold on. Before we go, what if you took a pancake, no chocolate chips, maybe in advanced stages, but what if you took a pancake and used it to make like a cheesesteak sub? I've never had a crab cake. Does it seem fair? What do you mean fair? Like good? Yeah, I have like 1 or 2 crab cakes every week. I get them from Super Sub, or is it Super? Yeah, Super Subs. They have pretty good broiled crab cake. It's not bad. Comes fries. You can get some shit with it. Usually that's when I have my chicken Alfredo or club sandwich, or every once in a while I get like a chicken salad sub. That's usually I get the crab cake and that from the same time, so I have a couple days worth of food. Oh god. How does Moses make coffee? He brews it. He brews it. Oh boy. You're getting my allotment then. Your allotment? Just never had one, and that seems not right. Oh, to eat crabs? I mean, they're just people. Oh yeah, Sean, those super subs is awesome. Yeah, I like the crab cake. It's not fucking like, you're going into like fancy fucking restaurant, but for the price, it's pretty fucking good. Ooh, a pan steak. Oh, see, Lock Watcher's in on it. He's thinking, he's a pan steak sub. Crab cake's not the people. Oh yeah, well yeah. Okay, well then when that happens, I won't give you a people crab cake. I'll stick with standard crab cakes for you then. But actually, a pan steak sub with a crab cake on the side. There you go. All right. On that note, I'm not going to eat anything for a little while. I don't think. Yeah, I got a million cashews around, so anyway, I'm going to head on out of here, folks. Appreciate you watching and sharing in my frustration. Some of you more than others, I would understand, as some have donated directly for this. But, like I said, as long as we can make it run at the end, then I'll just put all our problems to whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I will see y'all. I might do Scum tomorrow again, since it's like the new shit and every fucking thing in that game is changed, like severely. It's almost a whole new game again. Like the map is completely different, but so many more bunkers are gone and been replaced with these dinky bunkers. Some of the biggest bunkers are just gone. It's just weird. But anyway, I'm sure I'll stream that this week, and of course, I'll see you on Saturday. So, until then, have yourselves a good evening, morning, night. Evening, morning, afternoon. See, I haven't had enough cannabis today. And I'll see everybody Saturday. So, again, thanks for watching, and I am out of here in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.